though, I think we need to think about that, because a lot of students, more and more, are not able to get to campus to take classes. I mean, I'm piloting with 6 or 7 people next term, a hybrid version of 244 and 243. We're going to see how it goes. Because there are people in Warm Springs. I got one guy in Israel who's related to a student here who needs a stat course. And he's like, well, if my mom's going to take it from you, then why don't I take it too? I'm like, yeah, why not? What's the difference if you're in Warm Springs or Israel if it's electronic? I mean, it's kind of cool. It's kind of stretching the definition of community, but it's awesome. Freaking rad. But, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the beauty of online courses is it allows you, theoretically, to have a class for 1 student. Like, when you just create a CRN that has like 1 or 2 students in it, but you can't do that. Like, if I kicked everybody out of this room except for 2 people the first day, the school would lose money, obviously, and it wouldn't fund itself to do that way. So the whole idea of hybrid and online is good, except when this kind of happens. Sounds like what they need is more sections. So I'm sure they're adjusting.
There's
to that.
just one of each, because it's like you get towards the 400 level classes and they're so specific that there's only one of each, so they all fall at like you're unable to like do a work schedule around it because they're all like spread out throughout the day.
Totally. I understand that. I think part of the problem is too is that the view of online is that it's not as real as a real class, and I think that's going to change. It needs to change. It's kind of an unhealthy.
But that's why we have our internships and stuff.
Say that again?
That's why we have our internships, is to do like the real part.
I don't think
I
don't think that classes should be fiction.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree that intern you're doing the job, the actual job you're going to do. But the class itself shouldn't be fiction at the same time. So, but I think the problem is that people don't view an online class as being able to carry that, which I think is ludicrous. It can be if you design it right. So I've worked on for 20 years, just getting to the point where I'm making the classes real enough. So I see your point. I feel your pain too. And hopefully we're working towards it at least a little bit here at COCC. We'll get there, but I feel your pain. So, today, we have 3 classes left. It's not many. I got my first YouTube violation this morning. I was excited.
What?
They pulled down one of the videos I uploaded yesterday, or over the weekend. I put up 16 videos from class, from my, you guys, and also 243. And one of the 243 ones got flagged. It got flagged for robots, spiders, and or web crawlers.
What?
That's what I said. What? Because all it was me in front of class doing this. So I filled the form out, but they blocked it and they re-uploaded it without the web crawler. So I don't know what the hell happened there. I mean, all I did was pull the video off the camera like I've been doing for a year now, dump it on my desktop, and then put it in YouTube. And somehow in that process, I think, what do I think it was? Use terms from this class. What do I think it was? A false positive! Yes, I think it was a type 1 error. I think something in the upload code of that video triggered a false positive. Because the video is exactly the same as the other 700 that are uploaded. It's me in front of a camera, doing the thing, and then uploading. No code was inserted into it. So I don't think it's a false positive. Very nice, Jack. Type 1 error, 5%. In that case, stoked. Because I've uploaded 700 and one has been flagged as a false positive, which means they're operating at a much higher confidence than 95%. Of course, I don't know about false negatives. They've let them. Who knows how many they're letting through there. They should be flagging. Not mine, but other ones on YouTube. Christmas Rock got through. So, anyway, interesting. So if anybody has, that was a 243 video. Hopefully that won't happen for 244 or ever again. Especially after I got a nice dialogue with them, not going back and forth, one of our tech people. Hopefully we can square up what's going on and I can refine their algorithm even more. Maybe 99.9999% confident. All right. So, we wrapped up 2 parameter testing on Thursday. I only see you guys today because next class would be Thanksgiving. Yay. Go enjoy the nice long weekend. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, for sure. Get some rest. I just returned a bunch of stuff to you. We have one last project due next week. It's an email submission. Make sure you remember, make sure you don't print that out. There's too much. I don't like having people print entire Excel spreadsheets because if you set the print settings wrong, you end up putting 9 pages per sheet, and there's like 5 or 6 sheets on that. So just save the whole thing and email it to me, and that way we're gonna email that to I think Emily wants to grade this one again, so we'll send that to her. She'll grade it, and it's called linear regression. Now I know if you had Donna for 243, you may have gotten into this a little bit. I'm not sure. Did you do the scatter plots and best fit lines in 243? You had Donna. A couple of you had, right? Did you guys do like scatter plots and best fit lines or anything like that in 243? Scatter plots, maybe? Scatter plots, yes, but not the best fit lines. Okay, so good. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. So that's what we're going to be doing here, looking for looking for, it's called regression analysis, where you've got what's called bivariate data, which is, we've been dealing with univariate data in class, and that's why I've moved this to a project, number one, is because it's different enough to be troublesome and cumbersome to have you guys kind of compartmentalize it what we're doing in class, because it's different. But number two, the way every textbook teaches it, I think is silly. They teach it as a hypothesis test, and I think that's dumb. There's a better way to teach, and that's what the project does. It allows you to use technology to generate the mathematics, and then you still have to interpret whether the mathematics is meaningful, which makes it hypothesis testy, but not a hypothesis test, if that makes sense. You're still looking for significance. You're still looking to see if a line demonstrates what's going on with the data, but you're not doing it via the rigor of a hypothesis test where you're losing the point of what you're doing. So that's why it's different enough I moved it out of class, and it seems to work pretty well that way. So that's next week. That's next week. It's just in Excel. Everything's in Excel. Everything's set up for you already. You have to make scatter plots, though. I have a video. Pretty sure it hasn't been pulled down. No, it hasn't been pulled down. It's got 100,000 views, so it's okay. There's a video that shows you how to make a scatter plot in Excel if you need help. So you can click on that and pull that up. And I think it should explain itself pretty well. So that's next week. I think I posted a quiz for this week. I think I did. I hope I did. Yeah, I did. I did. And we'll have one more quiz next week. My God. And then that's it. And at some point this weekend, I'll upload your last out-of-class exam. And then we're done. I can't believe it's moving. I know. It's kind of hard to think about. I keep thinking about the future. The future like ends next week with us. So, what questions do you guys have? Two-parameter testing, either two independent means or two independent proportions. Any questions at all? Gesundheit. Stay healthy. Lots of fluids. What you got? What you got? You can see it. I like this one because it gives me the perfect opportunity to get into explaining non-parametric tests on Likert data, which is that, or Likert data. I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. But I realize that the heat questions generally are the out-of-class type, the ones that make you go outside of a normal rote kind of textbook area. Anything give you grief in here? Or it all gives you grief and you're just overwhelmed by grief. You want to think about it. So much grief, you can't process it. Down here besides the Lakers scale stuff. Oh yes. Oh, it didn't fit well. Oh well. Oh, pretty much all the, yeah, good. Good. The U test, yes. You'll learn the J test soon. Named after my wife, Jen. I had to invent a test for you guys to play with. Which sounds a little bit cocky. I had to invent a test. But you're going to learn on your last take-home exam that it's totally legit. It's totally legit to invent statistical tests as long as your set of assumptions is proper. So I think I mentioned I took a 4-question multiple choice American Heart Association CPR test. Did I say about that? Yeah, that's the one. Invented the test for that because they're non-existent. Spent an hour Google searching. There's no test out there for what I needed for a 4-question multiple choice. There's plenty of tests for 2-question multiple choice, true-false tests. There are no tests for anything higher than 2. So we invented one. You'll learn about that one in your last take home. It's similar to this, because this deals with the same idea of runs when you're talking about runs. Although it does all the work for you. You'll be doing some of the work on your take home. See what's going on. I feel like I'm scaring you guys. Is that okay? You're looking like less happy now when you walk in here. Yeah, okay, decent. We good? Decent? Yeah. So, shut this down temporarily. I think that's what your quiz is on for. Oh crap! There's no quiz for Thursday. You're not here Thursday. Did I post it for next week? Did I post it for today? I posted it for today. Turn it in next week if you need to.
Yeah, there was a quiz.
Yeah, there's a quiz posted. This is only 16 weeks. So yeah, feel free to bring it Tuesday if you want to turn the quiz on Tuesday. That's fine. That's totally fine. All right. Let's chit chat. See where we are, where we're headed. Where we're headed. All right. How we doing, huh? You okay? Yeah, we're okay.
me start and stop.